okay, let's talk about this. Because I think that this is going to possibly, maybe, in a tiny little way, help some folks out. Did you hear the news? Todd and Julie Chrisley have been found guilty on all 3 counts for tax evasion and bank and wire fraud. Basically, to summarize this case in a nutshell, the Chrisley family was living well beyond their means. Basically, they were forging and falsifying documents to the bank to take out expensive and extravagant loans to finance a very lavish and decadent lifestyle they were living. Now, they were reality TV show stars. They had a hit reality TV show, The Chrisleys Know Best. And it pretty much documented the extravagance of it all. Large wardrobes, shoes everywhere. And I think what this tells us, in a nutshell, is something very, very simple. Don't try to do more than what you really should be trying to do. You know, they said that their budget was $30 million per year. They couldn't live on less than $30 million per year. Now this federal judge has told them if they spend more than $1,000 per month, they need approval. Can you imagine going from spending $30 million a year to $1,000 a month? And if you spend $1,001, you need approval to spend that extra dollar over $1,000. In this type of economy, boy, that's a shoestring budget. But it's kind of humbling when things like this occur, because it kind of is a lesson for all of us, in a nutshell. To live within our means. You see, the Chrisley family, Todd and Julie, they're not like all of us, but they're not unlike most Americans. We always want to show off. We always want the best things, the most expensive things. We want to show that, well, we've all got it going on. And really, what we really should be doing is really minimizing and not trying to maximize. we really should be cutting back. A lot of times, people will really go out of their way to spend a lot of money to impress other people who they don't know. A lot of times people will spend a lot of money to impress people they don't know. And people who don't care about them. Now, Todd and Julie Chrisley, they're going to be sentenced on October the 6th of this year. They're going to go to prison for a long period of time. 20 plus years, probably. You gotta think, was it worth it? All the fancy clothes, the fancy meals, the big house, all the expensive cars. You know, we're all kind of conditioned to be very materialistic. You really have to break that conditioning. We're taught that if we have fancy things, expensive things, then we've arrived, we've made it. It says something about us. When in reality, all of it is just junk and shit. It's clutter. You know, people buy brand new cars, which is fine. To each their own. And they'll be paying forever a car note. And they'll pull up to the light. And you'll look at their brand new car. And it looks shiny and new. But you know, for me, all I see is the debt. I see that you're paying a car note every month. It's not really for them, the car. It's for everyone else to look at. So when you have a condition where you are materialistic, but you're materialistic for approval of others in the society, ultimately it leads to no good outcomes. They live this extravagant life so they could be seen on reality TV. And prior to the reality television show, they lived an extravagant life so they could be the people in the community that everybody knew had this, had that. It's always seeking approval from others who are complete strangers. To be like, look at them. They're doing really, really good. And I suck. I don't have as much clutter and junk as they do. I think we all can learn to break some form of that condition. and to really assess what it is that we really do truly need. Because having a wardrobe full of clothing worth millions of dollars, and you only have one body to put on all of these clothes per day, it's kind of a waste and ridiculous. I think there has to be a rebalancing, so to speak, where we really prioritize what it is we need, truly. And all the rest of it can sort of kind of vanish, can disappear. You know, they were riding high. And I don't think anybody would have ever found out about them if somebody hadn't have ratted or stitched out. But that's the thing. When you're on top, there's always naturally jealousy, envy. So while you're there flaunting and showing off people your lavish lifestyle, you're extravagant, other people are sitting there, sitting back, jealous and envious, and wanting to take everything from you. That's also a thing that they never really tell you about. They just say the lifestyle of the rich and famous. But they don't tell you that there's a lot of people that envy and hate the extravagance, the lavishness of the rich and the famous. So I think that there's a bunch of lessons. One, don't lie and cheat the system. Two, live within your means. Be okay with that. And the third, I think, is the most important. Really try to refrain from the validation approval of others. You know, if I buy something, I buy it because I like it. Not because I think other people will like it. But do you know, in this society, that's very rare. Most people buy things for other people to look at, for other people to like. And by other people liking what they have, they gain some appreciation or like for the product or the thing that they have. You see all these people go out and buy Lamborghinis. But very rarely on the street do you see someone riding a Lamborghini. It just sits in a driveway, collecting dust. So I think we really have to think about validation and approval, especially if you're younger. Be weary of doing things for validation and approval of others. Do things for yourself.